Aya, asanteni sana. Mheshimiwa Rais, Mheshimiwa William Ruto, Mheshimiwa my party leader, kiongozi wangu, Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, familia ya ndugu yetu George kiongozwa na Mama Karen, wote ambao mmefika hapa na wasalimu kwa jina la Yesu Kristo, hamjambo. Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi ndio Sifuna. Ukiangalia, ngoja kwanza. Ukiangalia hapa mbele huyu muungwana amelala, amefunikwa na bendera ya chama cha ODM. Nataka nikuambie Mheshimiwa Junet, mimi ni mtu mdogo, lakini kiti ambacho nimekalia ni kikubwa sana. Kiti cha katibu mkuu wa chama lazima kiheshimiwe. Na ndio kwa maana tumechukua hiyo bendera, tumefunika huyo mwanachama. Sio kila mtu wa ODM akifariki huwa tunafunika hiyo bendera. Ni heshima kubwa ambaye tunamtunuku ndugu yetu George. Mheshimiwa Baba, jinsi ambavyo nilizungumza tukiwa kule Nairobi, mimi nilisema nimejua George kwa sababu ya ukaribu wako na wewe na kwa kufanya kazi pamoja na wewe. Ukiangalia security situation around Raila Odinga, I don't think there is a security situation that swings as wildly from one extreme to another kama security situation ya baba. Mtaamka asubuhi, mnakunywa chai huko London na watu wa diplomacy, mnasalimia marais Addis Ababa. Saa 8 inatakana uingize Raila katika uwanja ya Kamukunji. Imejaa watu wanapiga kelele, wanapenda Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, na hiyo mapenzi ni hatari hata kwa baba mwenyewe. Halafu siku ingine inahitajika umtoe kule Embakasi South akipigwa tear gas na risasi, uhakikishe kwamba amefika kwa mama Aida akiwa mzima. That is how wild the security situation around Raila Odinga swings. And this gentleman you see here, he did it with a lot of grace. Na tunataka tuseme kwa niaba ya chama cha ODM, poleni sana kwa kumpoteza George. Kama katibu nina majukumu ya kikatiba chini ya chama cha ODM. Nataka mpe huyu ndugu yetu 3 salute. Nikisema ODM, mnasema tuko tayari, ndio George ajue amezingirwa na marafiki wake. ODM! 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 Asante sana. Sasa George, sisi tunasema apumzike kwa amani. Mheshimiwa Raila, mimi unanipa majukumu pale kama katibu wako. Junet amesema yake, hata mimi na yangu. Mimi nilikuwepo pale tukiandikisha mkataba na chama cha UDA. Na huo mkataba kuna mambo inazungumzia. Baba, watu wetu hawa walienda uchaguzi wa chama Kenya nzima. Na nataka niwashukuru wana ODM kwa sababu mlifanya uchaguzi kwa amani. Kulikuwa na sehemu chache ambazo zilikuwa na shida, lakini tutarekebisha. Lakini Mheshimiwa Raila, wiki moja kabla tufanye huu uchaguzi, nilipokea barua kutoka kwa msajili wa vyama. Msajili wa vyama ananiambia amekata bajeti ya chama cha ODM kwa shilingi milioni 42. Inafanya kazi yetu kama viongozi wa chama kuwa ngumu sana. Na huo mkataba tuliandikisha ulikuwa unasema Mheshimiwa Rais kwamba tuheshimu sheria ikiwemo sheria ya vyama. Mimi nataka kukuomba kwa sababu tumeambiwa ati siku hizi treasury inalala sindo. Sijui chairman ya budget ako hapa ni mtu ya ODM. Mheshimiwa Junet, wakati unaangalia hiyo mabudget, tafadhali wekea wanachama wa ODM pesa yao chini ya sheria vile ambavyo inahitajika. Jambo la pili Mheshimiwa Raila, chini ya huo mkataba tulisema county zetu zipate 450 billion Kenya shillings. Nimesikia fununu Junet, nyinyi mnapendekeza kwenye National Assembly 405. Tulisema 450, sio 405. Tafadhali kaa urekebishe hapo, mambo itakuwa sawa. Ya mwisho Mheshimiwa Rais, Bishop ametuambia hapa kwamba kazi yako ni ngumu sana. Na mimi nakubaliana na yeye, hata mimi saa nyingine huwa najiuliza vile wewe unalala. Lakini kuna zingine Mheshimiwa Rais, wanasema Waswahili mwiba wa kujidunga hauambiwi pole. Kuna watu kwa serikali yako kazi yao ni kushika handball kila siku. Sasa kama hii drama yote tumeona Nakuru, ati watoto wanakatazwa kufanya mchezo, sijui wanapigwa tear gas, sijui wanafukuzwa. Hiyo ni mwiba wa kujidunga Mheshimiwa Rais. Wale ambao wanahusika na kufanya kazi yako ikuwe ngumu, read them the riot act, kwa sababu tunajua kazi yako ni ngumu zaidi, wasifanye ikuwe ngumu zaidi. Kwa hayo mengi nasema asanteni sana na Mungu amlaze George mahali pema peponi.
Asante, thank you SG Sifuna. Allow me, Your Excellency, to thank the security forces, the police in this region, from the region to the county to the sub-county have done a splendid job, not just today, but since George died. We want to thank them. Here we have formal security and informal security. They are friends of Raila who come from far, including Mike Makerena all the way from Meru. We recognize you. Allow me now to invite the only orphan in this region, the youth leader, the senator of Siaya, Honorable Dr. Oburu Oginga, to come and render his eulogy. Iluongeni Atar.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, the Prime Minister, and all protocols observed. I have sat for a long time, so I don't want to speak much. What I want to say is that this man lying here was a great man. He was a very, very great man. Because I can tell you, the man he was taking care of, called Raila Amolo Odinga, is not a very easy person to take care of. He is not a very easy person to take care of. I can tell you as his elder brother, Raila is very tough. And he likes discipline. He likes discipline, and I can assure you that if you are around him and you are not disciplined, his left hand is very fast and you will not take long around him. You will not take long around him. And George, who is lying here, was my friend. I knew him in 1992 when he was in the in Ajip House with my dad. But I knew him more in 1994 when Jaramogi passed on. He is among the youth who came to campaign for me under very difficult circumstances. KANU was pouring money, in Bondo was pouring money and also food. It was during famine time. And Your Excellency, those people were very, very aggressive. I know you were there, so you know. You know that Odongo Mamo came with the gunias of money, bags of money, and also food. I was a poor civil servant. I had just come from being the provincial planning officer in Kakamega, and I came in to Bondo without expecting to contest any seat as a member of parliament. And I had no money. And even my brother Raila did not give me money. He was a member of parliament. Nobody gave me money, but Oduor came. And he was with Nyam Nyam and others, and Agunyo, Wakin Agunyo. I can see them, those ones you call veterans. They came for us, to campaign for us in Webuye and here. And I can assure you, it was not an easy struggle, and they managed to go through that fierce force of KANU, and we managed to win the elections by landslide. By landslide. And Oduor, I can tell you people, if you didn't know, that he was more than security to Raila. He was more than security. He was always like a brother, and he knew everything. He knows, you know, what security knows what is ailing you, what security knows what is how you think. The security would judge Raila and even be very sensitive. When Raila wants to do something, he would actually just make sure that that thing is done very fast. And I want to ask the Almighty God to put his great soul to rest. And finally, Your Excellency, I want to say one thing, that this country has a democratic system where we do elections every 5 years. We do elections every 5 years. But we cannot have a situation where we are agitating, standing up and saying, Ruto must go, Ruto must go. If he goes, so what? If he goes, so what? He can go like the president of Siad of Somalia went, and there was chaos in that country. There was complete chaos in that. Up to today, Somalia does not know peace. And we don't want our country to suffer that. We want our country to be peaceful. We want to stabilize it. And that is the reason why we joined you, Your Excellency, when we were actually the ones carrying out what Gen Z was doing. We want to encourage this country to be peaceful, and we are going to work. And those our friends who think otherwise, they should also continue to think otherwise, and we remain friends with them, but they should know that as ODM we have decided to work in this broad-based government, and we have lent you people to work with you. But Your Excellency, what I would like to appeal for, please make sure that our region gets its fair share of development. Let us get our fair share of development, and those people who think that we are taking their share from the mountain, we are not taking your share. Kenya is so big, and we are only eating our share. Mr. President, give us our share, not theirs. If they want to come, let them come. So Mr. President, I don't want to say more. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and may the Almighty God rest Oduor's body in peace, and also have everlasting peace for his family. Thank you, Karen, and thank you, everybody.
The only orphan in East and Central Africa has spoken. Thank you, Dr. Buru. On behalf of all the workers in the Republic of Kenya, allow me to invite the Secretary General of KOTU, Francis Atwoli, to say a word.
Thank you very much. Nitakuwa kwa ufupi sana kwa ajili wakati umeenda. Rais na mheshimiwa shemegi yangu the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga na waheshimiwa wote, mimi nataka kuwa kwa ufupi sana. Jambo la kwanza, nataka kushukuru wewe rais kwa kupata time kuja kwa mazishi ya George. Mimi nimepata nafasi ya kuserve presidents wa Kenya wote since independence. Nimeona serikali ya Kenyatta, mzee founding father of this nation. Nimeona serikali ya Moi, baada tulikaa naye 24 years. Nimeona serikali ya Kibaki, nimeona serikali ya Uhuru, na nimeona serikali yako. Na labda serikali yako ndio mimi nitaserve ya mwisho, na alafu nirudi kule Hoisera. Nataka kusema hivi, sio wote kwa hawa ma president nimeona moja angelikuja matanga kama ya George. To be honest with you, I want to thank you very much for that. Kumpa Raila Amolo Odinga heshima ya kuja kwa matanga ya assistant wake. Na pia sisi tulikuwa katika Azimio vile unavyojua. Nilikuwa karibu sana na George. George is a terrible security organizer. Kuna wakati tulienda pahala, kuna upinzani ya watu wawili na wote ni watu wetu. Na fujo imetokea, kuna yuko mtu pale katika dais, watu wote wameondoka. Mimi ndio nilienda kuambia Mheshimiwa Raila, hapa nafikiria hatutakuwa na mkutano hapa, iko fujo. Raila akaita George. George akasema nipe 2 minutes. 2 minutes George had organized, everything was okay. Mkutano ikafanywa na ikaisha. Najua shemegi yangu kupata mtu kama huyo haitakuwa rahisi. Lakini mama Karen, wewe umepoteza sana pia kuliko sisi zote. Mwisho nataka kuongea maneno Daktari Oburu amesema. Kuna mzungu mmoja amekuja juzi kule Mbakasi. Huyu mzungu kuingia kwa tax, yule driver wa tax anamwambia Ruto must go. Ruto must go. Mzungu anamuuliza, me am a businessman, I've come here, I have a chemical branch of my organization, where do you want me to go? Because mzungu hajui ni yeye anaambiwa he must go. Mimi nataka kuuliza wa Kenya, wacha tujaribu kuwa patriotic. Tupende nchi hii. Maneno ikiharibika katika, na mimi nataka kushukuru shemegi yangu Raila Amolo Odinga. Kufanya kazi na serikali sio kusema you have compromised your principles. Nchi hii ni kubwa. I'm appealing to Kenyans, ni lazima tuje pamoja tulinde nchi hii. Na pia nimesikia katibu mkuu wa chama chetu cha ODM akisema maneno ya watoto wa huko kwangu. Pia ningeliomba nyinyi politicians, let us not mix politics with our young children. Tuache watoto wasome. Ukiwa ukitaka siasa, fanya na adults, usiende kwa watoto. Shanzi sana. Pumbavu sana. Ninataka kuachia hapo. Nasema poleni sana. Thank you very much.
Hello. Asante ndugu Atwoli. We have, Your Excellency, 2 of your cabinet secretaries here present. We have the cabinet secretary responsible for East African Affairs, the Honorable Beatrice Askul. And we have the cabinet secretary responsible for energy from our very own county, the Honorable Opiyo Wandayi. Allow me to invite the Honorable Opiyo Wandayi to handle this part. Waziri, karibu.
Your Excellency, the President, Daktari William Samoei Ruto, na hiyo mvua ni ishara ya baraka kubwa sana. Your Excellency, Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, Mama Karen, and fellow mourners, I will be extremely brief. But before I proceed, allow me to introduce my sister, the Cabinet Secretary for East Africa Community, ASAL, and Regional Development, the Honorable Beatrice Askul. Aje tu hapa mbele awasalimie.
Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri wa Kenya, Mheshimiwa Prime Minister ambaye ni baba, mama mjane Karen, waombelezaji wote, wanasiasa walioko, God is good and all the time. Mimi naitwa Beatrice Askul, ni Cabinet Secretary wa East Africa Community Affairs, ASAL and Regional Development. Kwa hivyo niko mahali hapa nikitoka kwa kaunti ya Turkana. Kwa hivyo nimeleta maombolezi zetu na baraka za Mungu kwamba yale yametendeka tukubali kwamba yalitendeka kwa sababu ni mapenzi ya Mungu. Tuko hapa kwa sababu pia babangu mlezi kisiasa ni Raila Amolo Odinga. Kwa hivyo nimekuja kusimama na familia yake, kwa sababu huyu ni mmoja ya wale walikuwa na yeye katika undani wa kutenda kazi. Kwa hivyo tuna majukumu tukipitia kwa kiongozi wetu wa serikali ambaye pia ni baba yetu katika uongozi wa serikali. Hapa tuwe pamoja, tuomboleze mambo haya, tukitiana pia nguvu kwamba ni Mungu pekee uweza kutenda mambo haya. Juu hatuna uwezo kama binadamu, ni mpito ya kila na mmoja. Kwa hivyo watu wa Siaya, Mungu awape nguvu sana, awatie sana nguvu familia yake na watoto ya George. Mimi nilimjua George back 2004. Wakati tulikuja kujua Baba Raila Amolo. Na mara kwa mara alikuwa anatuleta karibu. Nakumbuka siku moja wakati baba alikuwa prime minister, ikawa kwamba kuna mlolongo hapo kupata baba si rahisi. Ikawa kwamba nimekuja na Mheshimiwa Imana kutoka Turkana. Wakati huo nilikuwa secretary general wa chama kwa county. Mheshimiwa Imana alikuwa chama. Ikawa ngumu sisi kupata baba. Ikawa kwamba tumetext message kwa baba kwamba sisi tumetoka Turkana, tulifika hapa saa 3 asubuhi mpaka saa hizi hatujawahi kukupata. Baba alipata hiyo message around saa 5. Na mara moja tulikuwa pale chini kwa reception pale. Tulipata mtu ametumwa mara moja kutuchukua. Na I am assuring you wakati huo mwenye alitumwa ni George. Na tangu George ajue sisi amekuwa akitupatia all the time access wa baba. Ndio nikajua kwamba ni mmoja pia ya wale wanatii sheria za baba kwa watu wake. Kwa hivyo nilimjua wakati huo tukafanya kazi mpaka sasa. Baba pole sana. Wacha Mungu akutie nguvu. Mungu akuwezeshe. Ninajua mambo haya ni mapito ya kila na mmoja. Kwa hivyo siwezi ongea mengi. Mungu awabariki wana Siaya. Mungu awalinde. Your Excellency the President. We are here because you are here. Thank you so much.
Asante sana dada yangu Mheshimiwa Beatrice Askol. In our midst, we have a number of national government officials, and especially those who come from this region. They will not speak. I will just ask them to be upstanding so that you may know them. And they are led by my good friend and brother P.S. Raymond Omolo of Internal Security. Thank you very much, Daktari. We have got Dr. Umo Luga, a nominee for PS Medical Services. That is my good Vranda. Aya. Asante sana. Who else is there? We have got the chairman of the Kenya Sugar Board, who is also the son of the soil, Mheshimiwa Engineer Nicholas Gumbo. And Remuneration Committee, Mr. Oduor Jalango Midiwo, and many others, many others. Let me say this, and very briefly so, because as it is customary, as cabinet secretaries, we don't make speeches in the presence of the president. But let me say this, that the man lying there was a great man. Because a lot has been said about George, which I can confirm is true. I knew George in 1991, when I was a young university student in Nairobi. And George, amongst other colleagues of his, were then the youth of Baba and of course Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. So we worked very closely with George and his compatriots, those of us who are from the university as students, and George and his compatriots, whom I would have referred to as the combatants in the then movement. We consider ourselves as the think tank. But we worked very closely together. We had a very seamless blending. Very seamless blending. This George was a very calm person. But earlier on, he was very aggressive. I think in his earlier days. And very alert. I remember one day, Your Excellency, when we were in Thika Stadium. That was sometime in 1996 as members of Ford Kenya then. The infamous Ford Kenya meeting at Thika Stadium, when there were divisions in the party, and we found ourselves in Thika trying to resolve the stalemate. We were faced by a very, very, very aggressive group that had obvious support of the police. And on our side, we remained extremely vulnerable. I, together with Baba and the rest. George, on that particular day, demonstrated utmost bravery and actually saved the day, because otherwise a lot of damage would have been done. Fast forward, Your Excellency, I found myself with George. You know, those days when you were youth, under Baba, being arrested was customary, was normal. You would be arrested every other day. But one time, Your Excellency, I think that was now in 1997, when we were clamoring for reforms as young people, and under Baba and his compatriots. I found myself arrested together with George. And we spent with him almost 10 days at Kilimali police station. Those days, there was no time limit for being incarcerated in police station. You could even stay there forever, under the old constitution. We stayed with George for about 10 days at Kilimani. Later on, we found ourselves in Kamukunji police station, and eventually, we found ourselves in Kamiti, where we stayed with George alongside other comrades of his, like Lumumba Wade, who spoke here earlier on. In Kamiti, Your Excellency, we stayed for about 5 months with George. And George remained very, very firm and committed. One thing I want to say is that most of us who have worked closely under Baba, those of us who have been through the Baba School of Mentorship, one thing we have been taught is to maintain confidentiality. One thing we have been taught under Baba is to maintain confidentiality and to keep secrets. Your Excellency, these days I get surprised when people come out and say, oh, when I was serving him, is something to those of us who have been brought up and mentored by Baba. Because we have been taught that you must maintain confidentiality. You must maintain confidentiality. Your Excellency, let me say this, that as we send off George today, we must appreciate the gains that we have made as a country. As a country. And I must thank Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, for accepting to work closely with you, Your Excellency, to unite. You must be. And that from where we sit, Your Excellency, there is no turning back. We have made a decision that we are working with you, and we are doing this to the end. To the end. We are doing this because we know that the country is much bigger than any one of us. Your Excellency, under your leadership, and I must say this here, it is the first time in the history of this country, since we gained independence, that we are seeing electricity being taken to our islands on Lake Victoria. Your Excellency, recently you came here and launched a serious mini-grid electrification project at Mageta Island. Here. Later on, I represented you in commissioning electricity projects in Ngode Island and Takawiri Island. Your Excellency, in this coming budget, we are planning to ensure, working closely with my brother John Mbadi and Mheshimiwa Samatandi, to ensure that we put in place mechanisms to extend electricity to Ndeda Island, to Oyamo Island, and to Sifu Island in Central Sakwa, here in Siaya County. And not to forget that we are also just about to open a tender to take electricity to Kiwa Island and Kibwagi Island in Suba South, Your Excellency. So these are happening because of the conducive environment that has been brought about by our coming together under Your Excellency and Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. As I conclude, Your Excellency, don't be threatened by anything or anybody. And those who are shouting, Ruto must go, I want to tell you, he's going nowhere. Oh, come on. He is going nowhere as long as Baba Raila Amolo Odinga continues to work with him. And we are all behind them. Your Excellency. Your Excellency, in this region, we are not known to be double speakers. We say what we believe in, and we do what we say. We have said in one accord that we are in this government of yours as a people, and we want to continue in that manner. Kwa hayo na machache, asanteni sana na Mwenyezi Mungu abariki. May George's soul rest in eternal peace. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Waziri Wandai, for those words. You know, my own session is now coming to a close. So allow me on behalf of the people of Rarieda, now that we have the attention of His Excellency the President, to say only 3 things. First of all, Your Excellency, in these grounds where we are mourning George Oduor, but we've been mourning in recent days. In this very school where we are, 2 students lost their lives barely 2 weeks ago when they were on top of a cistern or a pit that sank. And in fact, they are being buried today. So we mourn with their families. In this very school, Your Excellency, only about a week ago, we had a funeral ceremony for 5 ladies. 5 ladies. 5 ladies who lost their lives again just in the local village when they were mining gold. And we appealed, and I've already met the CS in charge of mines, Waziri Joho, and the PS, to ask that they help us enhance the safety in terms of that. Your Excellency, the Ramba school that is mourning requested me to request, and I am merely a servant, that you may find it in your heart that if you want to donate something to this school, their biggest problem is a dining hall. They have many problems, but most of the others I'll deal with. They have a capacity of about 2,500. The dining hall that they have built about 30 years ago can only accommodate 800. Akwayo kutoka Akwayo. Secondly, Your Excellency, there's a very small portion of a very small road that was unable to be completed before your time. It is called Akado Kamito Road, just 4.8 kilometers. It has now taken 6 years, just 4.8 kilometers, Your Excellency. We plead that you might find it, not just to complete it, but once it gets to a place like Assembly Bay, and you know Assembly Bay, Your Excellency, we've been there with you. When you continue now, past Luak, then you go to the Right Honorable's home. That's 11 kilometers. So we request not that you just complete the 4.8, but you now connect it, so that when you come to visit your friend, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, you can choose not to go through Ndori, but you go through Kalandin. Dakupa Munbe. Lastly, Your Excellency, in affordable housing. Your Excellency, in this constituency, we are yet to get any affordable housing. But I've spoken to PS Hinga, and I've requested that for us here, our top priority is accommodation for students. Rarieda has 5 wards, and each of those wards has a tertiary institution. There's Mahaya TVET, there's Masala KMTC, there's Agok campus of Jaramogi, there's Bwaja TTC, and lastly, there's Nyakongo campus of the Kisumu National Polytechnic. Our humble request is, may you find it in your heart to prioritize building students' hostels as our form of affordable houses. Secondly, I want to support Honorable Junet, and we want to assure you, Your Excellency, and the Right Honorable Prime Minister, that as one of those who crafted the Constitution, I fully support a situation where we realize the full fruits of devolution. And therefore, if things are stuck in the National Assembly, I will be the first to support Junet to unlock it. But we equally plead with you, Your Excellency, and the Right Honorable Prime Minister, that there's this other thing called CDF, NGCDF. Hii pia msitunyang'anye jameni. Hata ukiangalia hii shule, it is shining courtesy of CDF. I agree that members of parliament have no business involving themselves in the details of CDF, including construction. Lakini at the end of the day, CDF tokonyo, kozo konyo. Uye no, okonyo kozo kokonyo. Koro CDF to beda, and manani, we have to be careful. We ensure that it is restricted to the functions of national government, and the member of parliament has no business dealing with it. Lastly, I want to apologize to you, Your Excellency. Only 2.5 years ago, we were adversaries because as an advocate, counsel, I acted on instructions. I had my client, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, who instructed me through my leader, Senior Counsel, to challenge your win. And we did challenge it, and you know that. And you know, when we are there, we are kind of different. We don't talk the way we are talking here. But the Supreme Court said that was all hot air. And we accepted. So, Your Excellency, we accepted, therefore, because we were saying the government would be Raila Amolo Odinga. But the Supreme Court said the government is William Samoei Ruto. Therefore, you are the government. I thank you for accommodating our government. And the distinction, therefore, is we are not the government, but we are in government, courtesy of your accommodation. We are in government because we have donated experts like Opio and I to work with you. And we thank you for that. Uwinjo kimawacho kuzo kuwinjo. Awacho niya. Kikngato wachni wan a sirikal. Like one a sirikal. Uwinja kuzo kuwinja. And for that reason, we beg that you give a little leeway to Waziri Wandai, Waziri Mbadi, Waziri Askul, and others. Because in this region, we have suffered for 60 years. So Dr. Buru said that give everyone their due. But you know, if you get 2 children, one who is hungry, you can't give them equal by way of what's called affirmative action. So hata Wandai, Mbadi na wengine wakifanya affirmative action, Your Excellency, uangalie tu na macho ya upole. Awacho kuzo kawacho. Allow me now to invite the governor of Siaya, His Excellency James Agri Orengo, to take over from here.
Hello? 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 Ero kamano. Now, we have a very short period and it is raining, so we want to make this bit as quickly as possible. And Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, Mama Khan and the family and the leadership that are here. Now it is my role to... I'll start by calling upon Honorable Wajackoyah, 1 minute only, and then I'll call the governor.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, my Prime Minister, Honorable Raila Odinga, Governor Orengo, Governor Baraza, Governor Tuoma, Governor, my friend from Migori, Professor Nyang' Nyong, and the area MP. This is the first time I'm meeting this man, Ruto, after the election. I wish you had called me before. Maybe stories would have been different. But let me take this opportunity to tell you that had I won the presidency, maybe I could have been the one talking here. But I congratulate you for your good work. The only thing I have to say, because I've been given 2 minutes, I will say 2 things. Number one, devolution. Governors are suffering. Governors do not have money. The monies have not been sent to these people. Governors are borrowing to pay their employees. Governors are really being faced with the problem of not paying contractors money for devolution. That devolution was brought by the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Secondly, I would like you, Mr. President, and I recognize you, I would like you that when you go back home today, as the president, go and call Butere girls and their principal to State House, have tea with them, tell them thank you, and then visit their school, harmonize relationship with the school kids. Otherwise, watoto wadogo saa hizi wanakuchukia because of the mistake that was done by your juniors. Correct them. You are my president. You have the sword of power, and you can lead the country if you have both of us. Madam George, Madam George, it's George that made me closer to Jacom. There are some people who had blocked me, and I've stayed with Jacom in Britain. I've stayed with Jacom's family, including the sister in UK. But when I came back, there was that buffer zone. It is this man who made me see Jacom, and then we blossomed. Finally, Governor Orengo, Inosiapna. Orengo, you have played a big role in my education. Orengo, you have played a big role in democratization of this country. Orengo, you have played a big role in doing what we have. May I take this opportunity to go and sit down to thank Baba. If you did not do what you did, this country would have burned. But we don't want to burn this country, Mr. President. I want you to go and tell Farouk and group, waambie wakae chini. Because this country is bigger than them. You are my president. Then I'll come and have tea with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now it is my honor and privilege to call the governors to come here and introduce themselves. Time is not on our side.